Thank you, Mr Speaker. It would indeed be hard to pick the biggest mess that this government has to clean up after the last wasted decade. You could pick the aged care crisis, the state of the budget and the fiscal crisis, blowouts, billion-dollar blowouts on projects, nearly $1 trillion debt and nothing to show for it. The energy and climate debacle, 22 energy and climate policies announced by this former Liberal National government, not one of them implemented. Churn through Prime Ministers, churn through energy ministers, and then before the election they actually changed the law through regulation to lie, in effect, about the gas price rises that were coming. The rorted grants and waste, the budget riddled with warts and waste. But one of the most disgraceful debacles, often overlooked, is the utter mess, the broken system of the visa and citizenship processing system at the Department of Home Affairs, that giant black hole of human misery and economic carnage that we've inherited. In fact, the most common complaint in my office is visa citizenship processing delays. 80 to 90% of the people who come through my front door in the most multicultural part of Australia, I might note, are complaining about visas, distraught, desperate people. Over 10 years, the Liberals virtually destroyed the visa processing system, and it affects every visa type. Businesses, large and small, crying out for skilled workers, employees, just short-term visas for technicians to come and install multi-million-dollar equipment, the wasted capital and economic opportunity, actual shutdowns at plants because of the visa system, the health system, desperate for nurses, doctors, skilled health workers, waiting for visas. Universities, desperate for researchers, global talent, waiting for visas. The international education sector, Mr Speaker, was our fourth biggest export sector, and yet universities and private providers and TAFEs are screaming about students missing the start of semester yet again, while our competitors in the US and Canada and the UK are steaming ahead, stealing our students. Families, people who fall in love with someone from overseas, waiting for 1, 2, 3, 4 years in some cases for a visitor for their loved one. I've lost count of the number of people who have never met their own children because of the former government's negligence. These are people from countries that can't get visitor visas, so they might have conceived the child in a third country and then they're stuck here waiting for a visa to meet their own child for years. Relatives dying, special occasions, weddings, anniversaries missed because now there's a crisis in visitor visas. It's like a game of whack-a-mole. We go over and try and fix one problem, but the fact is they cut thousands of staff over a decade. And desperate, vulnerable people fleeing war and persecution, most especially in my community, with the choked visa system in the humanitarian stream. I have more people born in Afghanistan than any electorate. I don't have time, Mr Speaker, to describe to the House in detail the human misery that is my front foyer every day as people worry about their relatives being hunted by the Taliban because this miserable Liberal National Party government did not process their visas. It is the former government's fault. 10 years of neglect and cuts. More cuts baked in the last budget in March, which if we do nothing we'll see more staff cut next year from the department. Now, you can't fix 10 years of damage in 10 weeks, but Labor is taking responsibility and I will keep speaking up, perhaps to the pain of the relevant ministers, but I'll keep speaking up. I'm pleased that the minister confirmed the processing backlog is an urgent priority. He's directed the department to devote more staff to this. Nearly 140 new staff since May have been put on board, a surge capacity established, a 10% increase in applications finalised in June from May. That's a good start, but it is a drop in the ocean of what's going to be needed to clear this dreadful backlog. There's a long way to go. There's other critical policy work that's in our national platform that Labor is committed to. Giving genuine refugees permanent protection in this country, moving them off the cruel TPV-Chev visa system. People who've been here for 10 years, working, paying taxes. 87% of them are employed full-time or running businesses, so the department tells us. Separated from their families, missing their children growing up, it does our country no good to have a permanently temporary underclass of people living here, working in the community but never able to participate fully or become citizens of this country. Well, the Labor government will fix this. We're working on it. It's going to take time. In summary, Mr Speaker, it is so easy in life to destroy things. You can knock a house down, but then it takes months or years to rebuild. And that's what we're facing with the visa crisis. It's going to take years to clear the backlog, to recruit staff, to skill them, to security clear them, to train them, but we've started the job.
The question is the House